Well, the games were weird. The games were definitely something. Like even the ending of Spider-Man 1, the game, you know, Green Goblin's corpse run in front of them. Peter and MJ just start making out in front of it. Then he goes, "Go outside and play."
Very strange. It's like, I loved him so.
It's like he told you to touch grass while he's making out in front of his best friend's dead dad.
Yeah, so why don't you want to see this next bit? You get out of here. Credits will roll. And then the PS5 Mary Jane come up from the new Spider-Man 2.
Ooh, that's bad.
But I'm glad you brought up the Raimi Trilogy, mate. So I still have them on Bloomer Game. Nintendo Wii GameCube.
Oh yeah, like, you showed us. I remember you took a picture of that. Yeah.
Yeah, the Spider-Man 2 game is clear, in my opinion, of like Marvel's Spider-Man 2.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's some people like definitely in the comments would get like really upset at that.
No, they bungled this. The PS5 one was absolute garbage.
I had a proper defender of that game saying it was like a masterpiece in every way, and I was like, is it though? Is it? Is it? Like if you're looking at that and you're satisfying, like that's fair enough. But you know, even if we look at Arkham City, that as a sequel to me kills every aspect of Marvel's Spider-Man 2.
Yeah.
Even just like the combat in the Spider-Man 2 game from the movie tie-in, 10 times better. Like they put way more effort into that than Insomniac did with their game.
Yeah, it's like a million combos. You can swing someone from the ceiling. You can stick them to lampposts. Anything.
Yeah, that's one of my favorites.
Absolutely.
Even like when you knock someone out, you can just keep punching them until like whenever you're bored.
Yeah, you take them with you.
That's pretty cool.
But you can actually push someone up a building and then just continuously go out.
But they brought it to the next level once you could like explore the whole city. When you could go around the whole map of the city.
Yeah.
That was like next level shit. You know what I mean? Like you didn't have to do like stages. You could just explore the whole damn New York City. You could swing around the city if you wanted to. You could like punch people on the street. It was pretty cool. It was like
stupid balloons.
That was revolutionary.
Those balloons were.
Oh, crazy! But then you get to kill that kid in Ultimate Spider-Man, don't you?
I like how they're like, we know you hate this kid. Eat him. Like it's like
go eat him. Yeah.
So Skull, which game
was interesting though?
Yep.
Like with Black Cat was in the games, and I thought like just even that addition alone, besides Shocker and Scorpion and Rhino, was interesting because like I feel like
favorite.
But she could have definitely fit into something like in the movies Black Cat. Whether she played like a similar role to Gwen Stacy in the third, instead of having Gwen be the home wrecker like per se, and just have Black Cat be that one that's like tempting Spidey. Especially with the black suit on.
Yeah, but they could have done that in Spider-Man 4. They had it out, where the love interest could have been Black Cat. Because I know that number 3, it was Gwen Stacy was a little bit of like the love interest. But we never got Black Cat, and that's disappointing because like there's been so many Spider-Men now with Andrew and Tom Holland, and we still haven't got a Black Cat.
We've had a Felicia Hardy. We just haven't had Black Cat.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, she is Harry Osborn's assistant for like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
In the deleted scene, she almost got killed by that one glass or something. Like it almost pierced through her eyeball.
Yeah.
It's not for Andrew Garfield catching it in the last second.
I've never seen that deleted scene. Shit, I gotta look it up now.
I wonder if he just like smashes the glass or something and then he reaches out.
Yeah, he's doing his transformation in it.
Go.
Yeah.
So
plugs in the pen drive and it's got like a million. The Morbius files, the Craven files, and Sony's like, get excited, fellas. No, we're rebooting again.
Movie time game. That one was rough.
So what did you guys think of like number 2? Because like I said, Spider-Man 2 was my favorite one. Just because of the stake that was in the movie. Peter had a lot to lose. He actually lost himself in the process because he was so depressed that he couldn't be with Mary Jane, that he started losing his fucking power. And That's
he wasn't even
yep.
sick, because I know in the books, if he's sick, he can sometimes just like get really weak.
Yeah.
But unless they count like mental sickness as like as enough to cause it.
Oh,
well,
instead of physical.
That's what the doctor said. Remember when he went to the doctor, and the
Yeah.
doctor's like, he's like, "Oh, you seem very fine to me. If you ask me, it's mental. You know, it's what's in your head."
And he's like, I'm not Spider-Man, but my friends had this dream that he's Spider-Man. Well, Peter, are you Spider-Man?
Yeah, conveniently at the time where Spider-Man disappears as well. It's like, you're not really helping us.
Well, the fellow who runs the wrestling thing in the first one, absolutely saw Peter without his mask. And there's no way he doesn't connect the dots. Yeah, he's seen him web swing. He's seen him jump.
Yeah, he did.
But even Spider-Man 3, I thought was because for some reason, in 2007 they had the best cameraman in the world at the scene. That has like the most HD camera. They can zoom in miles away. Like they got a close up of MJ in the taxi cab, looking clear as possible. And then, like, Tobey had his mask off for majority of the start of that fight.
Venom takes his mask. You're right. I didn't even spot that bit. How's it makes a joke of Jonah trying to get a snapshot.
Guys, also during the Doc Ock train fight, when he was knocked out, there's a bunch of people that saw his face. Remember that?
Yeah, but they back him up. They like, hey.
That was like, they built that up.
Yeah.
I still think there's There's like 50 superhero movies like every weekend. That train fight is still the best fight in any superhero film to me.
Yeah, I remember you telling me that. It's a great train fight. I mean, the way they did it and the way they used the CGI, I thought it was perfect too. I mean, they
like
were
how
on top.
Pissed off he is. He's like, "Where is she?" And he's like, "She's alright. Let's go. Let's talk." And just kicking ass.
Sam Raimi killed it in terms of just his directing. Like, honestly, it's a lot of the scenes are so memorable. It's like Spider-Man 2's got heaps, but even just one, because I watched Spider-Man 3 last night, and I've just got that one scene of when he returns and he's running, and you see like the American flag in the background.
Yeah.
And that scene, I don't know, there's something. It's so cool. Like, I just love it.
Yeah, I'm not even American, and I'm like,
yeah,
get him, Spidey.
I'm patriotic for that.
It's pretty iconic the way he made it look with the flag behind Spider-Man. That looked pretty. That was a good shot.
Even Spider-Man 2, where Doc Ock, his glasses, like the way that the camera goes through them and comes out, and
when his powers are coming back.
Like when I think he's about to chase Doc Ock or something like that.
Yeah, he's like just took Mary Jane out the cafe, and Peter like busts out of the rocks, and he's like, "Oh my god."
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Coming back.
But also the one where he's in the costume. I think he's got Aunt May.
Yeah.
And then because it's also really reminiscent of that one cover in like the 60s, drawn by like Ramita Senior. Where he's got like Spider-Man's reflection.
Oh yeah, I remember.
I always thought of that scene where like, when you can see Spider-Man chasing him and you see like the reflection in that. I always thought that was pretty cool.
That is
when Doc's on the clock tower right before that train fight, and it zooms out, and we were looking at it through Doc's glasses. I know what you mean. Yeah, that's sick.
Yeah. So I was going to tell you during that coffee thing with Mary Jane. Do you remember when the car broke through the wall? I thought that scene was
he's there to talk to Peter, and he chucks a car at him.
What
would he have done if he'd have killed him?
And all of a sudden, the whole scene goes in like slow motion. And the car is like,
goes up.
I've never seen that before, and I was like, "Oh my god, this is amazing!" So definitely that scene was definitely something for me too. Yeah,
I like the fact that they imposed the question of like why does he like want to do this shit? Like it clearly ruins his life. Like rewatching it, that one scene where everything goes wrong. Where he has to, Harry's like, "Hey, brother," and he slaps his face. He realizes that MJ's now going to marry, his number one hater's son, takes the photo of it.
The Wolfman.
It's like it like has to impose, like, why would you want to do this? And I like that that's like the big theme of the movie too, is like one of the big themes, just,
if you were Spider-Man, why he wants to do it, mate. Because he's got the great power So, of course, he's
the
got the great responsibility. I like how that is in contrast to when he's when the raindrops are falling on his head and everything starts going all right. Like, he's having a good time. He's doing good in class. But then suddenly the city needs him. And even without his powers, he goes in and sorts out that fire.
Well,
he tries to put it off.
It's a great plot, guys. It's kind of like you lose yourself sometime, but you got to find yourself to be able to strive, right? So I think that was like the theme of it. And when Peter found himself again, that's you could feel it in the movie. You could feel the energy vibe rising, and you're just like, holy shit, he's back.
Well, I think he even needed to like think of it himself, like, why do I want to do this? Because like Uncle Ben was obviously his motivation, but then in Spider-Man 2 it felt like he got a bit tired of that, because it even shows in that scene where he apologizes to Ben in his like psyche.
In the car.
Like he had to like in a way let go but still hold it in, like as a memory, or like as obviously his key turning point in his life.
He gives up, doesn't he? He's like, I can't do it. It's too much.
Yeah, he totally
you can't
reject Uncle
constantly
Ben.
live up to it. And then it relates like why would you want to do this?
It's like, I can't do it. I have a life of my own. I need to get back to my life. But then, we realized that, the world needs him. And he realized that too. Because as Skull Ryan said, with great power comes great responsibilities.
I made that up. That's my line.
I love the contrast, like the fire scene where he saves the kid. And like you look at that in Spider-Man 1. I love
how easy it is in the first one to do it.
Yeah. And it still shows that like through everything he is a hero. Like even without powers, he still just jumps into a burning building. And
it's
the
funny.
Kid has to lift him up because he's weak.
Guys, it's funny because the little girl that he saved in the fire, they say that she's the girl from No Way Home, the Asian woman, the older lady in the kitchen.
Ned's whatever she was.
Yeah. So
was it?
So like they say that, but like I'm pretty sure that actress is older than Tobey Maguire.
No. It's not her, but it's like alternate universe. That's
Who's
what they were.
Asian lady from Venom's convenience store. Is it
secretly that little girl.
No, because when Tobey Maguire came out of the Doctor Strange, what's it called? God, I'm going blank now.
The Paul.
Yeah, he gets out of there and he's looking at that Asian lady and he's like smiling at her as if it's like, nostalgia, like. And a lot of people online was saying like, oh, it might have been the different universe little girl, Asian girl that he saved during the fire. And I saw that online and I was like, oh shit, I never thought about that, but who knows?
One thing I saw online about all the Spidey films that just sort of annoyed me was, because that can work, because that's about a decision that came from a film that, was the last one. But someone was like, oh, there's a second Green Goblin in this hallucination scene. Is that the Green Goblin from No Way Home coming back to kill his previous? It's like no, like don't overthink this. It's clearly a stunt double that just got like it was accidentally on the scene and they forgot to edit him out. But it's like a movie. The first Spider-Man movie that came out 2001 was not planning an Easter egg for 20 years later. Like they were not thinking about. Oh, in 20 years, we're going to do a multiverse film. It's like, guys...
Disney didn't even own Marvel until, 2014.
Relax a bit with these, trying to, these connections. It's not... it does my head in sometimes.
And, it's like I said, during that time when the first Spider-Man movie came out, there wasn't a lot of superhero movies. I mean, we had the X-Men, the very first X-Men
Batman and Robin.
That was out, Batman's and, Superman movies. But that was really it, guys. There wasn't much during that time.
There wasn't much Marvel-wise. We did have that 70s TV show.
Which one?
That's a classic, yeah.
Ooh, Enter the Dragon or... What did he call it? There's a few of them, the TV movies with Nicholas Hammond.
Yeah,
also,
there was insane.
There was that Hulk TV series. Do you guys remember that?
I do remember that. Still hear the music in my head every 3 days. I was walking trying to get a lift. We had
One thing I thought was interesting though for Marvel was DC films always sort of they embrace more of the comic aspect, like the costumes and stuff like that.
Yeah,
with Superman from
Gotham and Batman.
Yeah, like they at least they made an effort. But with Marvel, like at the time, it was like you had Blade and X-Men, and they clearly were too scared to have them in anything other than
the
black
suits
leather.
in X-Men are just crap.
I completely forgot about the Blade movies. You're right. There was Blade
But just
before the Spider-Man movie in
then you
'98.
get this movie,
Yeah.
and like they got costumes. Like Spider-Man looks like Spider-Man. Green Goblin, they tried, but then
they're in
like
bright. Well, yeah.
And may I just say that Blade with Wesley Snipes was like one of the coolest shit I've ever seen.
the first one's insane. Yeah.
What's the one where he goes, some motherfucker's always trying to ice skate uphill?
Or
what does that mean?
Do you guys remember that club scene when he goes in and they're all vampires, and then
that
Blade
is cool as shit. So
and he just slashes everybody. Oh my god!
Yeah.
That was
it was nice that Sam Raimi tried with the costumes. They in a way was like groundbreaking for Marvel just for that fact alone.
Yeah, it's that traditional.
And then they immediately regressed with Daredevil coming out because then like they just half-assed that as well. When I saw behind the scenes and they said they didn't want to make it too red because then they'll get confused with Spider-Man. I'm like, mate, one's got horns,
looks nothing
and a
like
devil.
Spider-Man.
The other has big white eyes and a big spider on both sides of him and blue.
Listen, if you can see his chin, it's Daredevil. Easy.
Yeah.
What did you guys think of that with Ben Affleck?
I haven't watched it in years.
I have the DVD, but I don't know if it's the director's cut or not because they're both just so like confusing to watch.
I mean, I'll be honest with you guys. When I watched it, I thought it was good. I didn't think it was bad at all. I was like, this is definitely watchable.
It's the closest they've got to straight adapting a comic because it's very much the Bullseye stuff and the Kingpin and that. I forgot what the story's called now. But
I just thought they went on a bit too quickly. It just escalated really fast, and like Elektra especially was just like, all right, here's Elektra.
Yeah, out of nowhere, she's like, she's already a ninja. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. Oh,
Wake
that
me
scene
up
was just
inside.
training. That's.
But let me tell you guys this: the Daredevil that we have today, with what's the actor name? He's great.
Charlie Cox.
Yeah,
I like him as well.
That's a good series right there.
He's got to go to Turkey, mate. He's got to get a hair transplant done, and then he's got to get that thing orange, because then he will be honestly the perfect Daredevil. If he can get that orange.
Well, he's Stash. He's coming back for Daredevil, as we know. Daredevil.
Yeah, get him the transplant. Get him the bloody orange hair, and let him fully embody that.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, Matt Murdock's
No, go on, sorry.
No, I was just gonna say, the orange hair to me is that's a key part of his look. That's always been so distinct about him. And I sort of wish they actually did that.
I believe.
They keep doing it, mate. Keep doing it to redheads, don't they? The Mary Jane's now Zendaya. Kid Flash in the Flash program.
When I'm on Tinder or some shit, I'm like, I need an MJ. I don't refer to that one.
When Daredevil first came into the comic scene, his first appearance, he was wearing the yellow suit, right? The yellow suit. Yeah, I believe that was.
I'm currently reading Daredevil. That's the one I'm reading right now. Is Daredevil. I'm around.
The early.
I'm almost done with Volume 1. Mate. I'm in the 300.
Have you seen Mr. Fear?
Yeah.
Have you seen the Masked Marauder, mate? He's boss.
The Silver Age is rough. The Bronze Age is rough. It doesn't.
Yeah.
Trying to read that is a slugfest, mate. Trying to get up to Frank Miller stuff. I was questioning life at a certain point.
About 3 years ago, at my job, I had a ton of free time, so I'd just sit there reading Daredevil. So I'm all Volume 1 up until the very end. I'm all caught.
It'd still feel like work, though, wouldn't it? The first bit of Daredevil would still
when
I'm working.
Angar the Screamer is trying to mess with Daredevil, I'm like, Jesus Christ. Where's Bullseye?
My favorite was
Purple Man's elite.
My favorite was Zdarsky. Have you guys read some of the Daredevil that Zdarsky wrote?
I haven't got up to that yet, no. I have to read everything in order to get.
Mate, I'm the exact same. It's so annoying.
I got Nightfall on my desk, and I haven't even got to it yet because I'm like, I got to get through Batman.
You know what?
Take me forever.
Yeah, you know what I'm currently reading right now? I'm reading the Thors from Nick Klein and Donny Cates.
What era is
How's that going?
That was 2020. It's actually good.
Yeah.
Did you guys remember that one?
I've never went
Like
hard
Thor.
into Thor. I've just read a bit of is it Simonson? Around the time X-Men were messing with the Morlocks. Because the Morlocks 10 Mutant Massacre, that was it.
But also you told me
the Silver Age.
The Thor, yeah. The Silver Age.
I've read a lot of the journeys. And I think I've read all the journeys of Thor.
Wow. Nice.
Because I own most of I'm only missing like 2 Journey into Mysteries of Thor, like the first or 3. First Thor, second Thor, and first Loki. And then if I get those 3, I got all the journeys. I'd actually have from 83 up to 200 in a row, I think.
Sick.
Yeah, like people
you guys,
on the channel, like I try to mention it. Like I got my comic collection's like around 1,600 comics.
Oh my god.
Yeah, because I was even like doing it. Like I recorded an episode of just playing Arkham Asylum, and I had a moment where like I had told people like I know that like this happened. Like I own the book because people always try to like correct me in the comments sometimes. And like I've read it. Yeah, like I own the book.
Stash, do you buy the omnibus? Is that? Oh, do you buy the omnibus?
I got that too. I got some. Oh, okay. I got I'm looking at my desk right now. Like I've got.
Yeah, ask you this. What's your most valuable comic?
The most.
I mean, it's tough question.
I can name some of the most ones off the top of my head. Like I got Spider-Man issue 6. I've got in the Avengers. I've only missing 1 and 4, and I'll have from 1 to 100 in a row. So any comics in that 1 to 100, I've almost got. Like I've got the first Vision, issue 2, all that sort of stuff. I've got a lot of like the first Nova, Iron Fist, Iron Man issue 1.
You got the first Iron Man, really?
No, the issue 1 of his first series.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he was in like Tales to Astonish or something, wasn't he? First.
I got the. Well, like I'm trying to think of what else. I got like heaps. It's just to a point where I have to see it. I've got like the second Scarlet Witch, Quicksilver.
Oh, nice.
Third Magneto. The Spideys is my most collected one.
Yeah.
I've got.
Is issue 6 the Lizard one?
Yeah.
Ah, nice.
Oh, nice.
Well,
I've got almost
you friggin' hate the Lizard, don't you?
At times, yes. Yes, it gets really repetitive.
Especially
later on.
I'll tell you my my most valuable one that I have. I have a Spawn 300. I have a Spawn 300 that's signed by Todd McFarlane.
You got it signed?
Yeah, I got it signed.
I've been trying to get a signed Todd one for ages. I want to get his autograph.
Yeah, it's really hard to get it. I got it at Comic-Con. I went to Comic-Con and I met it.
He's honestly
you live in New York,
characters.
don't you? So you sorted.
Yeah, so he shows up to Comic-Con every year.
They come to you.
Yeah, you guys.
We got to hope. I have to hope.
I used to have a comic signed by Stan Lee himself. Like I met Stan Lee, he signed it for me.
You met him?
I was young and I needed the cash. Like an idiot, I sold it. I regret.
No, like honestly, when I got my first job, when I was like 14, there was one comic store my favorite one to go to, and they had a signed Stan Lee book. And I was like, I called up work. I'm like, give me as many shifts as possible for this week. And then I did like all of them because I was only a casual. And then I got enough. I bought the book straight away. So like I'm lucky enough to have that in the collection. It's a shame it's a Dan Slott issue. It's like issue 600, I think. Yeah, so like it's just like it's a double-ended. So like I got Stanley's autograph, but it's Dan Slott. So
is that the wedding one with Dr. Octopus? May's wedding to Jonah's dad.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
You know, like at least Mary Jane's in it for like a split second. That's about it.
Yeah,
for me.
right at the end. But Michelle Gonzalez is in it.
That was interesting. Didn't they like? Yeah, and then Zeb Wells brought in a lawyer character with the same name and same look, but different somehow because reasons.
Ridiculous.
But even with my comics from, I'd say around issue 10, I've almost got from 10 to first Punisher in a row. I'm missing first Punisher.
Nice.
With Spidey. I
So we got the
Stash.
wild.
Stash, do you have a video where you show your collection? I think you should do that.
I have an older one. I did like 4 or 5 parts of Spider-Man, but since then there's a lot more. There's a lot more.
Oh, cool. I'll have to check it out.
I've filled in a lot of the gaps. Yeah, like
check it out.
I got the last one I needed from the 20s was like 28, the first Molten Man, and then I got that from America. I ordered it off America. Because like in Australia sometimes, yeah, like you gotta just go off the international listings because sometimes it's impossible here. Like issue 25, the first cameo Mary Jane, first Spider Slayers. You'll find that here for like a lot of money, and I won that for around like £100. It's not even.
That's good. Wow.
And I was like, thank God that for the UK, and that's I was like, I needed that like badly. Because here, like honestly, I even complained about it in one of my recordings I got. I was like, in Australia, everyone's such tight asses with comic books.
Yeah.
Like I got a comic dealer, which sounds shady enough, and he's like, "Oh, mate, you're not gonna find this one for like under $1,000."
You got the
stuff.
I got the stuff. You got the money.
Like, it looks dodgy because like I'm young as I'm going to this guy's house and he's like 40, 50. Like, hey, you got this, you got the good stuff.
He's like, where's the money?
Yeah, like doing that weird handshake in front of his house. Just take it.
Get it on. It's like a counterfeit issue. You're like, he scammed me.
Nice. All right.
Yeah, honestly, like, it's.
I was just gonna say,
Spidey's the way to go.
Yeah, you want to get back to Spidey movie 2?
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah, another J. Jonah Jameson masterpiece, mate. The whole time when he realizes how wrong he was, and he's about to actually admit that Spider-Man was good, and then he steals his suit.
It soils it, yeah.
Well, in the movie,
scene of him in the suit.
Yeah, it jumps on the desk, starts whipping around.
Bet he's watching him like, what's he doing?
Well, yeah, in the movie he stole that suit, right? Like Peter gets the suit back. That was.
I love though when he gets it back, like the instant switch. He was a menace. Yeah, straight into it.
Do you reckon Robbie knows? There's a scene in this movie where Robbie goes, "Oh, I heard Spider-Man was there," and he's like looking at Peter.
The eyes are like piercing through.
Yeah, I reckon he knows in the comics.
Robbie was always. I love Robbie. Like personally, like he's from like the side characters of the Bugle minus Jameson. Like Robbie's the guy.
Yeah, but like they're like a married couple in a way, aren't they? Like Jonah's the angry one, and Robbie can like let him see what to do is right and that. If you know what I mean.
Even in Spider-Man 1, where he's like, "Get out," and then Robbie just like holds him back because he knows that Jameson's just gonna call him. Like literally within a second, he's gonna call him back. Yeah, like they bounce off each other so well.
Yeah, they're a team.
And who was the original character that Sam Raimi did?
Oh.
Hoffman.
Yeah.
You know that? Yeah.
It's
Daily Bugle. It's hip. It's now. We come up with that.
Yeah, like, does anyone care what I want? I do.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Get out. There's a bit of the first one, sorry, where Betty's like, "Chief, the wife's on the phone. She wants to know if," and he just puts it down.
Even like, didn't he come up with the Doc Ock name?
Yeah.
And then, like Jameson steals it like 2 seconds later or something.
Yeah. Doctor Strange. It's good, but it's taken.
It's taken. I love how they never followed up on that. They just said that and just left it in the air. Also, like in the novel book of Spider-Man 2,
I'm glad you mentioned it.
Yeah, didn't they say that was Namor? Like that handed in the suit?
Yeah, that's the amnesiac Namor from Fantastic Four. The wrestler in the first one who's like, my leg. Oh God, my leg. That was apparently Jack Murdock. Hank Pym is at Dr. Octopus's exhibition where it all goes wrong, and he
Punisher
mysteriously
is in
vanishes.
The Punisher's in the park while Mary Jane's running through with a wedding dress.
Is he? He's just chilling. What's he doing?
Yeah, he probably just was. He was better like off MJ for cheating several times in the film.
Yeah, well, that's where his family got blasted away, innit? So he's probably like there, human.
It's just like, it's weird how Spider-Man 2 in a way just links so many characters that you don't, for one, you don't see, and two, like, did they have the rights for them? It's like, did they?
Yeah. Namor would have been with Fantastic Four, wouldn't he? A 20th Century Fox.
Would Ant-Man?
Yeah.
Like,
I don't think anyone cared about Ant-Man at that point, did they?
Well, I care about Hank Pym. I don't care about Scott Lang, to be fair.
Yeah.
But just I was like, when I saw that Namor was like supposed to be there, like, what? Namor?
Yeah, ridiculous.
We're talking the Silver Age crazed Namor that was just a random hobo on the street. Like,
yeah.
I love even the way that they discovered it. Like, didn't Johnny just hold his finger up to him and shaved off his beard? And he's like, "You're Namor."
Does, yeah, he burns his beard off and he's like, "Oh my god."
It would have been cool if like they just at least had pointy ears on him.
Yeah. Just so you know that they're not just bullshitting this.
Yeah, like, because the novel's so random for that. Like, just go, like, here's Namor.
Yeah. Speaking of that, you know the fella, Bruce Campbell, he's in all three of them, isn't he? And apparently he was meant to be Mysterio in 4 for like 2 seconds during a montage.
Wow, didn't know that. He was Mysterio.
He was Quentin Beck the whole time, apparently, just going job to job.
Oh wow!
Honestly, I love him in the third one though. When he's when Peter speaks French back, and he's like, "I like this one." Like the constant like anger look he did to those guys trying to give the ring.
Yeah,
even though it wasn't their fault, like he was the one that signaled them. And he's like, "Guys, what are you like? Piss off! What are you doing?"
Each time and when he's looking at the ring, and he's like, "Bit small, isn't it?"
But even the way he announced Spider-Man lives rent-free in my head in the first one.
Yeah, he come up with the name. He should have residual checks coming in.
Just you can't even beat his and like announcer voice, like the Amazing Spider-Man. Like that scene is so good.
Well, that too. But the funny part about him is when you saw him in Doctor Strange, and Doctor Strange did the spell on him where he's punching himself for like a whole.
It was like Pizza Papa or something.
Yeah, Pizza Papa. Pizza Papa always gets paid.
Yeah.
He just punched himself.
He's a gem, honestly. Like in each movie he's done, he's a gem. He's one of the just most funniest parts in each film.
Yeah, he's got the charisma in him, doesn't he? You see him.
In Spider-Man 2, he was an asshole though.
Oh yeah, not letting him in. Defo. It'd been like 2 minutes.
You know, speaking about cameos, guys, did you guys remember when Stan Lee made a cameo in Spider-Man 3? Where Tobey's that was very touching.
Yeah, it was nice, that one.
Yeah.
He's looking at the top.
I guess one person can make
a difference.
Was he in 1 and 2? He's in one of them for a split second anyway, saves someone.
Yeah, in 1 he saves someone, yeah.
Yeah,
I remember him in 2, I don't think I saw him.
In number 1, he saved the person from the Goblin when the Goblin was like the rocks.
Was he in 2?
The building was falling apart.
He would have been, surely. He was in the cartoon with Neil Patrick Harris.
He was in Ultimate Spider-Man the cartoon.
Oh, Christ, let's not. He was in Spider-Man the animated series, the best one, mate. The very end where he meets
Spider-Man 2.
I'm trying to think if he was in number 2 now. Yeah, I don't remember.
No, it was Spider-Man 2 he saved someone, didn't he? Because didn't Doc Ock knock that thing off the big clock tower building?
Oh,
I just remember him pulling someone out the way of something.
Yeah, he did. But on number 1, I thought he did that too at Times Square, right?
Oh no, wait. So number 1, I think he was just having like a massive freak out in the crowd, and then number 2, he pulled someone out.
Number 2 he did.
He's just in the crowd. I've googled it.
Wasn't it like the bank robbery? The bank robbery, he did that where he moved somebody out of the way.
Yeah, with Doc Ock when they were like all the way up the top, and then I think he knocked a part of the building down. And he quickly, because Stanley's a hero, so. quickly lunges out of it.
He's a legend, mate. Well, he's a legend. When I met him, he was already in his 80s. He was already old. It was back in 2014, 2015. I met him, so he was already an old man, very old.
It's sad how like all the movies just went downhill straight after he left. Like it's just they didn't really waste any time. As soon as
I think his best cameo is ASM 1, where he's the librarian as he's fighting the lizard.
Oh yeah, you know what cameo I like
so
too? The one where Doctor Strange is like, he's like running away from the bad guys, and then they hit the bus, and he's inside the bus laughing.
Yeah, he's Peter's bus driver, isn't he?
Yeah,
come back there.
Yeah, I thought that
like honestly, like I got pretty sentimental just like in Spider-Man 3 when he said that line, but just like after his passing and all that, it was just sort of so sweet to see that. And it's Stan, like he's the guy, he's the one that made everything, with the help of like Ditko and Kirby.
Crazy. This is all from like three people's. All this is from three people's minds from years ago, and yet it's got such like an impact on us here.
Even just the sheer luck of Fantastic Four being made, him not caring anymore, and him just wanting to make his wife telling him, make one story that you're proud of, and then you got like Spider-Man was just as well. Luckily that Amazing Fantasy was dying, or else they would probably not have published Spider-Man.
Yeah. And they basically had to go against the some of the policies that the laws were making at that time. What was it called? The comic restriction thing, where you're not.
Code.
I forgot what it was called.
Yeah, that's why Jonah doesn't smoke anymore.
Code. Yeah, so they had to block out like smoking, violence, and sexy women in the comics, and I
thought it was weird because. Well, they had to make police officers look competent at all times, yet I found that a lot of the time the police and the civilians were so dumb in the comics.
Oh yeah, they're ridiculous, man.
But it's like, I thought that went against the whole rule of like making cops not look bad, but it's like, these guys are really stupid. There were so many, especially Spider-Man books, I think copped it the hardest, where I'm like, there's no way these guys have a functioning brain.
Yeah.
In an early issue, I think it's the first Electro one, the police are like, Spider-Man's robbed the bank with his electric powers. How? How is that Spider-Man? I think named policemen get it better, though. Like, Captain Stacy and Jean the Wolf were treated all right. But if you just random foot soldier policemen...
Well, even, one thing I think that the movies did well, that the comics didn't, was just in Spider-Man 3 that they actually just loved him. By that point, they probably would love him. Because
there's a parade for him, for Christ's sake.
Yeah. Like, one thing that always sticks out to me is in the comics was near the end of like each volume 1, like in the 90s, when he's holding the Daily Bugle up, like when the support beam goes out and he's the support beam.
Yeah.
Everyone starts talking shit. I was like, mate, he's holding this thing up by himself. It's like, if not for him.
Why would you talk shit about the fella who can do that? There's a bit where he picks up a train and throws it at Scorpion. Why would you never say anything negative about him? He'll sort you out. What if you're
Jameson he looks dead at his eyes and he's like, this guy's a menace. As he's holding the building up. I'm like, that's
his
crazy.
Building up, saving his property. Like, get out of here, Spider-Man.
Like, the movie handled it a bit better, where they just sort of, they acknowledge, like, okay, by now they probably would lay off a bit. Like they would accept him as a hero, as a general consensus.
Yeah. There's a brilliant bit in the third game where Jonah thanks him for saving him from the Mad Bomber, and Spidey's like, don't worry about it. And he swings off, but Jonah's proper, like, sheepishly, like, oh, thank you.
But they even apologized with the retraction.
Yeah.
Like, in the newspaper, they said, like, oh, our bad, sorry, Spidey. Something like that.
Yeah.
And, like,
call him Spidey like he's his mate.
Yeah, and, like, in the comics, he would have definitely just said, nah, mate, we're right here. Like, even if he had the... Yeah, like, he would have said, like, nah, these are definitely real photos.
Yeah, he didn't do that, maybe, but you know what he did do?
Definitely, like...
Yeah.
He's edgy now, boys.
So yeah, I mean the movie, I guess things are a little bit different in the movies. I guess they had to keep it that way because of the studios and all that stuff. But I kind of felt that Spider-Man 2 or 3, uh, they showed Gwen Stacy dad, so Captain Stacy.
Yeah.
And I was shocked that he was there, but he didn't die in the third movie. So I was like, oh, okay, I guess they're not telling that story. But I was just
it was
glad.
more like,
I was just glad
there's
that
a
he was
named
there.
character from the comic.
Yeah.
Well, what's interesting is they could have easily done the death of Stacy, like the comics too, because there was so much debris. Well, there was like so much debris with like Captain Stacy.
Oh yeah, because that's how Dr.
like
Octopus got him, wasn't it?
Yeah, like the kid was gonna get crushed because kids are stupid apparently and they don't know how to run.
Oh, that one in the first one is just stood there staring as the blood started
it's like, mate, if I was Spider-Man, like that's natural selection. Like you gotta let it take its course.
But like I was 7 when it come out, and I was still like, "What's this idiot kid doing?"
Yeah, he's like begging to be saved at that point. Like you know, he just actually wanted to be saved.
Yeah.
But like in the comics, Captain Stacy saves the kid from debris and then gets crushed.
Yeah.
And then they blame it on Spider-Man, I think.
Yeah, of course they do.
Yeah.
But like that whole scene of like the building collapsing, they could have easily just done that. Yeah, because like that was a perfect setup.
Yeah, for sure. I mean that building
even if
collapsed,
they wanted to, they could have even maybe if Gwen wasn't doing a modeling thing, and then he saves Gwen and then gets crushed, and then Gwen hates Spider-Man and blames him for that. Then you could have done the whole Gwen hates Spider-Man aspect too.
It would have been like the Sandman causing the havoc, but it was a random train operator, wasn't it? So if a villain had caused it and he'd have saved the kid, I'd have been like, yeah, okay. But if it just happens how it happens, it just looks random, doesn't it?
It was just like, oh, the train's the crane's not working.
Dead.
Yeah, time to. Oh, there was so many times
Electro's messing with the crane. Easy.
Well, there was so many times I thought like, there's like these guys are definitely dead. There's so many civilians that had to die.
Yeah, they just sat under the fallen debris, and Spidey's like, I'll save this one blonde because I know her from school.
And she's hot. That's
pretty much about it. He's like, oh, I'm gonna save the hottest woman here.
Yeah. But even Spider-Man 1, there's no way that guy didn't die from that lamppost just whacking him on the head.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Impressive. Last thing you hear.
What did you guys?
Surrender.
What did you guys think of the Sandman, guys? I thought he did.
I loved him.
Yeah, he
was like brilliant, but he didn't need to have killed Uncle Ben. We didn't need to revisit that. Peter had already dealt with that.
Yep.
I thought it was funny, like he holds up the shirt. It's like this big moment of he's got the green stripe.
Sand, man. What if he was wearing the costume from like the Frightful Four?
Randomly whips out that wild
abomination. Whoa.
Yeah.
Peter does it at the end. That bit I love though. When Peter gets out his old suit when he's been called out.
Oh, dude, that's sick. I love that part. But what if Sandman looks at his shirt and goes, "Sandman, what a joke," and then throws it away and starts his own Avengers? In the Sam Raimi. I love that meme so much of that one guy on Twitter that started it all by saying like, what if this person says what a Peacemaker goes, "What a joke," and then wears Rick Flag's shirt as an honor or something like that. And then now on, that's forever cemented in comic book memes. It's just the best.
Yeah. Did you see Sandman? He punches Venom out of the sky and he goes, "End of the line, Spider-Man." Then he sees it's some freakish, toothy monster. And he just walks away. He's not like, "What the hell is this thing?" He just chucks him away. He's like, "It wasn't Spider-Man, guys."
You could tell how rushed that was.
Yeah, defo. We just need the villains to meet. It's better in the game again, where Venom kidnaps his daughter.
Yeah. He doesn't even know who, he just randomly finds Flint's daughter. And he's like, the way he crawled in the game was so weird. I heard you want to defeat Spider-Man. And he's like this weird, zesty monster. Like, what is going on here?
Starts doing some weird like dance or something, and he's talking about teaming up.
You know what I liked? You know what I liked in the movies when the goblin throws the goblin bombs into the Sandman's neck or whatever, and they explode, and you see a bunch of sand.
Yeah, especially like when it looked like Spidey was done.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, that was it.
The grenades. I mean, those images, those CGI, they look pretty cool. I was like, wow, this is amazing.
A couple of minutes wouldn't have been too bad.
Yeah, and like he's like a huge Sandman fighting like all the good guys and trying to destroy the city, you know. But
it felt like a kid playing with their toys. You know what I mean? Got a big Sandman figure. Spider-Man is getting absolutely destroyed. The Green Goblin comes in last second, saves it, helps Spidey out. But like, one thing I think throughout the whole trilogy that I loved was Danny Elfman's score.
Oh, definitely. I keep trying to use it in videos, but the copyright keeps catching me.
Before I was able to monetize, like I would use that all the time. Like I was like, I want to always put that in. But it's just each time it just changes a scene. It's so uplifting. It's incredible.
Yeah, like we said, the bit where Peter opens his chest and the original suit comes back out and it swells up. Hell yeah!
And then you got like the whole dun dun, and then like the music comes in. It's perfect. Honestly, like Danny, I want to buy it on record. Like I want to play that all the time in my room. Just have that constantly blaring.
Yeah.
But even
I noticed a few. Go on.
Well, like he gets the black suit. And then the music just changes, and all of a sudden it goes silent, and dun 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 dun, and it's like,
oh, it's buff.
It's so good. It's incredible.
What did you guys think of that black suit? I just thought that it was basically like the regular suit with the paint on it. That it's black now. I was just like, what the fuck? You know what I mean?
I would have
appreciated the
suit.
Yeah.
Where it is the black suit from the comics. It was very gimpy though. I love it, but it did look a bit like too. Suits to me.
I honestly thought it was like I just thought it was like black. You know what I mean? Like he had the original just paint. But like the comic, he has like a huge like spider on his chest that's like white, and he's all black, right?
Yeah, I love that one.
I think that
they should have done it how I know it come after, but the Spectacular Spider-Man cartoon. Where the first episode it is just a suit but black, like in this film, and then it slowly gets more comic accurate as it gets eviler and eviler.
I love that choice. That was honestly like
that was fantastic idea. That because by the end of it, it looked
so mean. It was awesome. Yeah, but like I think they got away with it in the movie because all the black suit was in night scenes, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like you could barely see it anyway.
You could barely see it. Yeah, I was gonna say that you could barely see it.
And then when Peter's got photos, he's handing photos into the bugle, and you see it in the day, and he's like holding two motorcycles up with one hand each. You're like, where was this scene? Let's see this.
Yeah. You're trash, bro. I love that. I love just like his attitude change.
Yeah.
Or like the way to symbolize it. Yeah, the way to symbolize is, now his hair's down. Like, oh shit, he's angry. It's like gonna cry.
Yeah.
Even like when he says, "I'm gonna put some dirt in your eye," there was no like need to say that because he wasn't even talking to anyone.
There's no menace. It's just he's just a dog who thinks he's now cool.
He peeks over a group of people's shoulders, like reading the paper. Imagine like being there reading it, and this random emo guy goes, "I'm gonna put some dirt in your eye," and then just walks away.
Like, are you talking to me? What?
It's like I love that scene and when he puts his feet up on Jonah's desk and he just stares at him like absolutely
lollipop in the mouth.
What about that infamous scene where he's dancing? Remember that, guys?
Right after he threw a pumpkin bomb at his best friend, it starts going on a bit of a jazz.
Immediately after nearly killing his childhood friend, he's there strutting down the street.
Then goes to whack MJ in the club. It's like, what is going on?
I love how all the ladies are cringing as he's like doing the finger guns. None of them are into it, but he doesn't care.
It's honestly like it's borderline assault at that point for them.
I mean, there was so many meme about that Spider-Man dancing, and I was just shocked, that there was so many meme that came out because of Tobey Maguire dancing. That's
Even
crazy.
the game had some gems. The game,
Yeah. The PS2 one where he's like, Mary Jane, stop calling. Slaps the phone.
even like in the other one, like the Xbox 360, it was like
Yeah. With
nothing
Betty.
stopping your gums from flapping wouldn't solve. Then he just smacks the drink across the restaurant. It's like, where did this come from?
But then he
Even
still
like-
takes
and
her
then-
home, to be fair.
But even like the Jameson stuff as well, where he's like, out. He's like, I was thinking, please, but whatever. And it's like, what is
Yeah.
this? Like, what is?
He's flirting with Betty Brant, and she's like, Peter, I'm not interested, mate. And it's like, you're lost, babe.
Which game is that? Which?
Spider-Man 3.
Oh,
hidden gem.
And then he goes and kills the kingpin of crime.
was that on?
Just chucks
Was
it
that
out
on
the window.
Xbox 360? Right?
And PlayStation
Oh,
3, yeah, he just kicks Kingpin out the window. And then Kingpin's
Yeah,
vanished. You're like, what the hell is happening?
Yeah, Gene DeWolf was there randomly as
Dean
well.
Dolph
It's like,
was there. Pretty good interpretation of the Scorpion, to be fair. He was more of an anti-hero than a villain. Surprised
the
me.
first one was pretty weird, like in the first game, where he was just like
Yeah,
a
he
paranoid
was just some
freak.
weird Oscorp monster for a minute. And then he vanishes.
Wasn't there those like little spiders that would come in and
Yeah,
fight you as well?
following him
Those
through the
they
sewers,
pissed
yeah.
me off so much. Yeah, they,
Oh, yeah, god awful. Plays the
Like, they
goblin,
could've-
shoot missiles at them.
yeah, that's Harry as well, wasn't it?
It was, and it was Josh Keaton who would later be Spider-Man himself.
Yeah, he did the games, which was interesting. Because in Friend of Foe, the Harry voice actor
Yeah, from
from that-
Spectacular.
yeah, voiced Peter. And then did Josh Keaton voice Harry? I can't remember who voiced Harry in that.
Oh, I don't even remember Friend or Foe. Like,
It was weird, like that, and it's weird how that's sort of a part of the trilogy, like the games and all that. It's just like
yeah,
that
because
weird
it's got the
child that's
designs. Yeah,
yeah, it's like that weird child that no one acknowledges. Like it's just
Yeah.
there.
it's like
It's
they just
like
needed a child-friendly Spider-Man movie game. Because
It's
all
like
the
when
rest
you're at a
acted as
family
grim
event.
kids.
Like you're at a
Yeah.
family event, and there's like that one cousin that you just don't want to interact with. Like that's friend or
Yeah.
foe.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and for some reason it'll always come up to you just to like bother you.
Yeah, because it was just weird.
Yeah, it's just like, is it a part of it? Is it not? It's
Why
like,
is-
what's Green
Why is
Goblin doing?
Mysterio the mastermind in a game where you've got the Green Goblin and Dr. Octopus and Venom, and the last
I
boss is
love
Mysterio?
Even in Spider-Man 2, where he's like got that mega health bar.
Oh, yeah, and one
And
punch
then you
sorts him out.
Yeah, just you think it's gonna be this big fight in a convenience store, and it's just no.
Yeah. That game's boss. They should have just done that game, like, for the
Well,
film.
the Doc Ock mission, I remember when I beat it the first time, gave me so much grief.
Oh, the very last one, where you not got your mask on.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it's
just-
nightmare.
honest, I don't know what they like. There's certain things we think you guys don't have the technology for this level. Like it's too ambitious for the game.
Yeah, it's too hard. It suddenly jumps, like, you kick the crap out the shocker with ease, and then Dr. Octopus just wrecks you every time.
It honestly was a pain in the ass, especially
Yeah.
like the water would kill you instantly. It's like
Oh, yeah, defo. No swimming in them old one.
Well, I don't remember when was the last time I played a Spider-Man game, but it was quite a while ago.
you gotta pick them up, man, before they go up too high. Honestly, I had to buy them all
Yeah.
second hand again.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
I've got 1 and 2, and I just need 3's full of quick time events, which puts me off.
I'm going to
Did you guys-
die.
Did you guys play the Miles Morales game, the new one that came out a couple years ago? I think.
I played
No,
it.
I think I just watched it on YouTube.
Oh yeah.
I played it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I wasn't exactly thrilled, especially with the Tinkerer. I know people always go, "It's the Tinkerer. Who gives a shit?" I'm like, I
Oh,
I
no,
care.
it's
It's
the
like
Tinkerer.
it's like I care about the way that like they ruin the character severely.
Yeah.
It's not even the Tinkerer in the slightest. There's nothing that resembles.
Yeah.
Not even down from being like swapped completely and the looks being like not even trying, but even in personality, even in motivation, even in technology and the gang, it's like, mate, you guys just use Tinkerer in name, and what a waste. Just at that point, make your own character.
I was just going to say, they've put the Tinkerer name on so they can just say, look, it's him from Spider-Man. You all like Spider-Man, don't you?
Yeah, it's like, you've gone to that level of extreme to not make it the Tinkerer. It's like at the point where just go to a random name generator and just slap whatever you find.
A gadget
that's
here.
what they're doing.
Interesting.
Well, it's like, even the game it felt like Arkham Origins, but less as well.
Yeah, it felt like, as I said, I didn't even play it, but it was more DLC for the first one, really, wasn't it?
It's weird. It's like baffling because Arkham Origins, I understand that they different circumstance. They offloaded it to a different branch so they can work on it properly. But post Spider-Man 1, like, it just feels like Insomniac just don't care.
Mate, from them DLCs to the first one, why is Hammerhead now a big cyborg when Silvermane is right there?
Just use well, what are they doing? Like, you're ruining Hammerhead, who is one of my favorite Z-listers or Z-listers, whatever American UK slang.
Yeah,
I always get confused on what to say. I get.
Mate, I'm all about them low tier baddies, mate.
Yeah, it's like I love Hammerhead just from his sheer goofiness in the books. As someone who like loves. Oh yeah. From the
he was Dr. Octopus's mortal enemy for like 10 minutes, and then he died and became a ghost.
Yeah, I love because I love like Godfather, like the whole trilogy and like all those like Goodfellas and that. And then reading a comic book character that's just those movies in a nutshell, it's just so funny to me. Like his weird obsession of just like just the sheer Don Corleone aspect of his character.
Yeah, he was even bossing Shattered Dimensions when he was
like they nailed that.
Noir.
If there's one character that fit Noir, it's Hammerhead. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, he's finally where he wants to be.
Yeah, I mean, like in that perfect time for him.
Yeah,
where they all talk weirdly and all that. They all refer to him as Da Bosch, and then like
the boss.
They all talk about like the Tony Soprano. Yeah. Boss, you gotta look at this.
The goblin asking you to.
Like that's why I mean, like, there's so much to dive, and I hope that in the movies they do tackle a lot of characters. I mean, it would be interesting if they did like a TV show at the time with like Tobey and Sam Raimi as a director.
I'd have rather had, I think, after this trilogy, I'd have rather had like a TV show, a bit like The Flash, but like good after season 1.
Yeah, like, I mean, like
long form Spider-Man. You're meant to watch and develop slowly, aren't you?
And the movie, one thing I like about the Raimi trilogy is they try to progress the character. The first one, he's like in high school. Yeah, graduates. Second one, he's an adult. Third one, supposed to get married. That was his
he's
plan.
Trying to get a staff job. He's done freelance now. He wants to be an actual.
There's a bit of progression.
Yeah.
And like I like that aspect of the whole, like, at least they tried to do that evolution of his character, because in a movie format it's way harder to show him go from high school to college to bachelor to married life.
Yeah.
It's impossible in a movie.
It's definitely a long concept, and they need the off the budget, but also the time to do it. It's funny because I was gonna say when Tobey Spider-Man was an asshole with the black hair, it looks like his life was going up. He was getting the staff job. Mary Jane was like, he didn't care about Mary Jane. He was like talking to other girls. I just thought that was like a funny moment that happened when.
Actually, I hadn't considered that.
What if he never got rid of the black suit? Would he just?
He would have been more successful. Yeah.
Well, Dr. Connors still has a sample, if we recall.
Oh yeah, he had this. Don't get any of this on you. Like, I love his
still got
scoff
that,
he does.
And as well, I was going to mention before, in the very first movie, the lady's talking about how there's 15 super spiders in the lab, and one of them bites Peter. But in the comic, it's radioactive, so it's like something weird's happened to this spider. They've genetically made this one in the movie, so nothing's stopping them from making more.
Well,
Yeah, like, I'm trying to remember because the Sam Raimi films were the first one was a lot like the Ultimate comics.
Yeah, it's genetically altered instead of being radioactive.
Yeah.
Yeah, like an Oscorp making it, and Harry, Pete, MJ being in high school.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. Because during that year, that's when the Ultimate Comics was like out and really hot, and like, people love.
I love that. Have you seen the set photo of Tobey?
I've been reading it. Yeah,
I love that photo. It's like
Sam Raimi's over Tobey's shoulder. Like, there he is.
Yeah,
reading issue 1.
Even like Green Goblin being his first proper villain was like the Ultimates too.
I think that Andrew Garfield, the way that he looked in that Spider-Man, I thought it was based on like the looks of Ultimate Spider-Man, and I'm not talking about like the suit. I'm talking about him, like the Peter Parker in the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man. That concept was like the looks was from Ultimate Spider-Man itself. So I thought
it's weird
that
how
was
like
interesting.
Whenever they say we're gonna do it like the comics, they're definitely referring to the Ultimate books. They're never ever referring to 616. I mean, like I love Ultimate Spider-Man, but it's like at the same time, there's more. There's much more.
That's what
every adaptation we get now, where Peter's a little kid or he's just in high school.
I'm sick of the high school scene, though. I can't lie. I'm really tired of that.
I was kind of when they brought Tom Holland in high school as a Spider-Man. I was just like, oh, come on, he's a kid. Are you guys serious?
Even the new show that's coming out, it's like, again
with the high school. I'm like, my favorite Spider-Man thing in general is probably the 90s animated show anyway. But in that, he's at least in university. So he has progressed a bit, and he moves on from Aunt May's after season 1.
Did you see that cameo? Did you see that cameo he did in X-Men '97?
I did, yeah. He was just doing sick backflips, like and then Peter's in the next episode, didn't he?
Yeah, and then they just confirmed that Mary Jane was found. Like, oh shit, like fair enough. Like, thank you for solving that.
Oh, off screen. Oh yeah, we went and got it. It's okay. What? Let me see it.
Because we don't. I wonder if they're gonna do Spider-Man '98. They should if they want money, but
they should. Yeah.
I mean, we saw Disney. They had a good writer and they fired him.
It's X-Men '97, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then Spider-Man ended in '98. So if that is set in '97, I think that's water clone Mary Jane.
Oh, but the writer on Twitter confirmed it.
I know, but he's not even working on it anymore, is he? That Mayo fella.
I'm going to cling on to that because I don't want to be left in the air for so long. In case we never ever get 98.
I think it's water clone. I think he's made a mistake there. I'm not saying I know better than the people making these stories, but read an awful lot of Spider-Man.
It depends how long the show, because obviously it starts in 97, then it depends on how long it sort of branches out. Like how in the Arkham games, it's sort of you wonder how does this take place within 12 hours?
It's like that was one night. Jesus.
Yeah, like Arkham City.
No way City and night happen in one bloody night, unless he starts
night especially
at like 5 in the afternoon.
Well, I love how you could actually just stand there for a full 24 hours and nothing happens.
Yeah, just there in Scarecrow talking crap over the intercom. You're like, oh, I'm not moving. Bring the Justice League, you mug.
Is he stupid?
The Hall of Justice, baby. Yeah.
Another thing they've ruined. Can't even have the Arkham series anymore. Can't go back and enjoy them anymore because now we know it ends with Batman getting shot by Harley Quinn. That's it.
Oh man.
No thanks. Yeah. I wasted my money on this.
Even just Spider-Man. With the natural progression of the writing downgrade over the years.
Yeah.
Like, I view the Sam Raimi trilogy as peak. Like, that's peak.
Yeah,
I love TASM 1 and 2. Like, even the second one I love, mostly because of the visuals, but...
That's swinging in the franchise, mate.
Even just the death of Gwen scene was insane. Like, I still found that really emotional, and I thought they handled it perfectly.
I remember thinking, like, they're not actually... I knew in the comics they kill her, but I was like, they're not actually going to kill her in this, are they? It's Emma Stone. And I genuinely didn't know until they'd done it that, yeah, they're going to